Well, it's time to go back to this. It's the other McFarlane Page Punchers 2-pack. This one had Bumblebee and Wheeljack. And, you know what? I was too nice. I was too nice last time. I want to say some things because I saw some comments. They said, oh, the reason why they used this crappy packaging was for anti-theft. 1. Shoplifting is not as bad as people say. 2. No one's stealing this. No one's stealing this. No one's stealing this. And even if they did, what are they taking? They're taking 2 crap figures and age-old comic books. The reason McFarlane does this Page Punchers thing is because they want to make it look like they have multiple lines. That's why the DC 7-inch multiverse guys, that might as well just be, multiverse, they're called Page Punchers, they're put under DC Direct licensing, and there's an upcharge to them for no other reason than just they can kind of make it look like it's a different line. Yeah, that's it. It's not for theft, it's not for protection of the comics, it's for nothing. And if it sounds like I'm being really bitter and negative, I am, because I hate this packaging. It's wasteful, bad for the environment, and also it sucks to open. It sucks to open. And when I do open it, I get no reward. I'm getting 2 crap figures, and I'm getting 2 comic books. I didn't like the Optimus and the Megatron, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to go ahead and just open this, because you want to know something? This has been in my closet since the Many Toys of Soundwave. The Many Toys of Soundwave came out nearly 9 months ago. And the whole reason I have not reviewed these is because I dreaded thinking about trying to open them. Because I remember when I got the Multiverse Page Punchers, Mr. Freeze, and Caveman Batman, and Robin and Batgirl, how much of a nightmare they were to open. So I didn't bother. Okay, we got the comics. And now I'm going to try to fish the figures out. There, at least they were easier than the Multiverse guys, because the Multiverse guys had, like, the accessory trays and the big plastic bubbles. But yeah, crap packaging that I'm going to have to try to recycle now, or just throw away, as is. And it was for absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. This is too bitter. I'm being very, very bitter. But we got the things. So, for anyone who doesn't know, McFarlane tried to do Transformer stuff. People were excited because we were thinking, hey, maybe statuettes, maybe like action figures. We got 2 things of Page Punchers, and I think they made like a statuette maybe, and it was kind of crap too. And now they're doing AI Marvel statuettes, which also suck. And McFarlane doesn't do DC anymore. So there we are. They're doing Mortal Kombat. Can't wait for that Melina. Want that Melina. If Melina is packaged like this, I'm skipping out so hard. But yeah, let's look at what we got. Last time, I was okay with the comics that they packaged, because I thought that thematically they worked, and it made sense, even though there would be a lot of back issues involved. They did not do it this time. So for one, they included issue 1 of the Bumblebee miniseries from IDW, which is a good pull. Great art, good story, and I hope people go and look back at this. By the way, I was flipping for this specific panel. I love this. This is after All Hell Megatron, where Skywarp literally just has a storage unit on Earth that he's storing, like, warheads and tanks and stuff. I really, really like this story. It's a great story with Hound and Ratchet, Skywarp, Cliffjumper. It was just a good, very, very G1-y cartoon style story, and I would very much recommend it to anyone. Wheeljack should have been a slam dunk. They chose the wrong issue. There's 2 issues that I knew they were going to go for. Both of them Robots in Disguise. What they should have done is gone with the issue where Wheeljack wakes up, and the entire issue is him reconnecting to everyone after Dark Cybertron, and he has that amazing panel where he's wearing the little party hat and looks depressed. He has a great scene with Ironhide. It's a whole issue talking about how important Wheeljack is to the Autobots and the friendships he's cultivated. That is the issue that you should have done. Instead, they chose an issue that Wheeljack is only in for a little bit. So why did they choose this issue? I'll tell you why they chose this issue. It's because this is the one before Dark Cybertron where Dreadwing guts Wheeljack. This is not the issue to do. This is the issue to pull in if you're a hack. I don't want to say that, but it's the wrong issue. There's a better issue that also would have thematically been a closer match to this Bumblebee issue, because they're both a little bit more lighthearted stories that also get into why these 2 characters are important to the Autobots. Bumblebee because he's youthful and optimistic, and no Optimus Prime means that Bumblebee is kind of the only person they can go to. And then Wheeljack because of many of the same reasons. Optimistic, energetic, always a friend. They messed it up. And it also means that we have two very weird looking minifigures paired together. Before, two IDW designs. Now we have the G1 cartoon Bumblebee and an IDW Wheeljack. I want to give credit where credit is due. This is a nice little mini Bumblebee, standing about 3 inches tall, with 5 points of articulation, and overall, good sculpting. I even love the detail where he has the wheels here on the back of his shoulders. You can see they got the back detail, good hood details down here. Could have used more paint. Black bumper, headlights. The face is also very strange. The G1 cartoon Bumblebee head is a nightmare in 3D. They didn't quite meet it here. It's fine. It's a completely fine Bumblebee. I think that if you want just a mini Bumblebee to have on a desk, or what would have been great is if this was a keychain. That's what these things should have been, is they should have done like a little blind bag series where these have been keychains for like $5. I'd be all over them. They'd be great. But that's not the world we live in. Even still, a nice little Bumblebee. This breaks my heart. This breaks my fucking heart so much. IDW Wheeljack. Great rendition of Wheeljack. Great looking Wheeljack. There's not a toy of IDW Wheeljack. Like, third party hasn't done it. Hasbro hasn't done it. And this is the only toy we have of Robots in the Skies, IDW Wheeljack. And he's fine. He's okay. He has more paint than Bumblebee, which is nice. And I like the arms and the legs. The head, though. The head's so depressing to me. You know what could have fixed it? Blue on the ears. Yeah, silver on the mouth plate would have been nice, but blue on the ears, that way it just kind of breaks up a little bit. But here, he looks unfinished. It looks like you're painting him from the feet up. And it's a shame, because the black and the color, like, even without the stuff down here or anything on the back, this was almost a really nice mini Wheeljack. And they just kind of scuppered it at the last second. Also, panel lining. They included panel lining. But they couldn't just give us a little bit of color right there in the face. That's what matters. That's what's the most important thing, is do the face right. It's still a nice little Wheeljack. I still like him a lot. Out of all the 4 page punchers I've looked at, this is the best one. But I think he could have been even better. Right now, he's like a 7. He could have been a 10 for a tiny, like, novelty Wheeljack. Also, be very careful. Those missiles will definitely break. So will those wings. Those are stiff. Jesus. God, McFarlane? Yeah, that's not rubberized at all. That will snap if you're not careful. Okay, so careful with the Wheeljack. But even still, decent. Let's just run the numbers real quick, okay? This was a $20 set. And for $20, we're going to take out $9, really 10, but let's say, you know what, no, we'll say 10. We're taking out $10 for the comics. And that leaves $5 going to each figure. And yeah, it's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. It's an honest-to-God bad deal. I don't think that there's much salvaging this. Like, this is not a $5 figure. I'm trying to think, like, what is a good price point alternative? And I think I'll always go to is look at Blockies. Blockies go for about $6 in some places. And those are much better painted, better sculpted, better looking. And by the way, at this point, now you can get a Blockies Wheeljack and a Blockies Bumblebee, because Wave 6 just came out. And also, $20, that's the price, or at least was the price, of a deluxe. And I want you to think about all the great deluxes we've had over this past year, including a new Bumblebee with Origins Bumblebee and animated Bumblebee. I just don't see the value here. I don't. The one positive I have is that it's a good mini B and a decent mini Wheeljack. But past that, no. Maybe if there was anything done here. If these were $5 keychains, I think that they actually would have been worth it. Like, give me this exact thing in this exact style. Don't change anything about the figures, but make them blind pack, make a wave of, let's say, 12, put keychains on them, and then send them out to stores for $5, $6 even. I could then justify it. You know, Optimus, Megatron, Bumblebee, Wheeljack, throw in, we already got 4, so let's throw in Starscream, Soundwave, Shockwave, that's going to give us 6, and why don't we also put in Ironhide and Ratchet Jazz. Boom, that's 10. You know what, we'll also throw in RC and Alita 1, so 12. We got 12 now. And that's hitting all the characters that you'd kind of expect in that wave, especially because Transformers 1 was just around the corner. Boom. I think that would have fixed all my issues with this. As is, they're okay. They're not worth the money. Grab them if you see them on sale and you really want them, but know that you're not getting much here.